Hi, I'm Daz. Just got my Nixie clock on the bench. As you can see, the Dekatron is not working very well, and I think you can see my reflection in it. So just looking at a spare tube I've got, I think you can see that the front of the Dekatron has gone very silvered. My mind says it's like a form of splattering been happening, so I'm going to get the tube out and have a look, but I'm not quite sure how to sort that problem out. Just having a look inside, I've just taken the plastic cover off. I'll just have to check that it's discharged before I fiddle with it, but I forgot that the socket was mounted on a chassis, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get at. Notice the circuitry is in a metal box. That was to try and prevent any radiated RFI. Often with these things, years later you look inside and think, well, how on earth was this put together? I've just removed the circuit board which is in the screen box, and the base here there's some Vero board that the Nixies are mounted to. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, now I've got to just figure out how it comes apart. Oops. Here's a clearer view of the PCB and the Nixie tubes. You can see I've mounted them in IC sockets. So long ago I've forgotten how it went, but it looks like I'm going to have to take this plate off here in order to get access to the tube and pull it out of its socket. Well, a little bit more of the construction, and there's a back plate here, and you can see it pokes through the hole at the front. It's held by a couple of screws. I didn't actually do this metal work, a friend did, but looks like some shelving bracket there being used to hold it, and a couple of supports. But you can see this tube is pretty well cooked, looking at how silvery it's gone. Here's inside the Nixie clock. It's a circuit board I bought from a circuit on a website, and as you can see it's got a CPU in, of course, and a clock chip and a battery to back it up. Looking at this clock in a darkened room, I do believe the Dekatron's quite bright. As the board is sort of a universal board, I'm actually wondering if I'm exceeding the current. So I've got the data sheet for the Dekatron, and I'm going to check the current. Well, according to the data sheet, the nominal value is 340 microamps. So I plug the clock in, it's stationary. Well, that is fairly close to that, but once the clock initializes, it is a little bit higher. So the current is within the range of the tube. But further things I've read in the data sheet is that it says the visual display could be impaired after 15,000 hours. Now, this Dekatron's been in use for 4 years, so that's over 30,000 hours. So it is entirely possible that that's how long they last, but I'm just wondering whether to put a little bit of extra resistance in just to reduce the output, as it's perfectly bright enough. Although the danger is, of course, that when the tube ages that it won't strike anymore. But I'll try a resistor and just see what happens. Well, looking at it now, it's a lot lower current now with the 220 in, and the Dekatron appears to be working perfectly normal. It's a little bit dimmer, but not a lot. It's always difficult to get the meter so that it's not in the light. Yeah, what's that? 333 dropping to 29. That's still within the range. Okay, just trying a 470 now, and the current's a lot lower. Now it's below the recommended minimum almost, so 250 microamps, but it's still quite bright and it still seems to be counting okay. Now I'm going to try a 1 mega ohm resistor. Oh, down to 140 microamps, and it's still illuminating. How interesting. And it still seems to be counting okay. Yes, or is it? Oh no, look, it's just going in one direction now. It's not liking that. So that's obviously now going to go for about 700k and see what happens with that value. No, does not like that. That's too high as well. So in the finished I decided on a 330k, and we'll just see how it pans out. I shall speak to you in 4 years' time probably then. Alright, thanks for watching.